we have different fronts. Every one of these guys up front, okay, we're very simple. I tell you, a base football team, we're going to line up and look like this all the time, and we'll do different things out of it, but this is what we should look like every time, okay? Over defense, good for tight end side run. Now, if we call over G, it's telling we want to line up. We're not checking G. We are now calling the G front, and we're going to put our nose in a 2-eye. This is great for weak side run, for open side run, whatever you want to call it. That's what we'll get if we're thinking that. Again, we have our D tackle stemming around, trying not to let an offense know exactly, are we playing with a 1, or are we playing with a 2-eye, but we call that a 2-eye. Again, inside shade of the offensive guard. Everybody else's rules stay exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's over, G, or some of the other adjustment fronts that we're going to show you here. The coverage and linebackers have the same adjustment rules for every one of these fronts. So over puts us in our base 1 technique. If we call over G, we line up in a 2-eye. Again, asking our players all the time, why do we want to be in G? For split side run. Okay, during a game, I would hope our nose tackle, if we're getting worn out to the weak side, would say, Coach, how about a little G? Hey, nice job, Jarrell. That's smart. That's what we should do if they're running the weak side, okay? So we want our kids to be like coaches on the field. And when they know what they're doing and understand, Coach, they're running weak side ISO, maybe we should be in G, that we know they know what they're doing. So G, good for split side run, okay? What we call our I front, we'll call over I. Over I, adjust the call side tackle, our 3 technique, and puts them in a 4-eye, okay? Again, what is this good for? And I'm going to show you a couple snaps of it. It's great for tight end side run. It'd be great if that tackle was blocking down and the guard was pulling around on a G toss or something like that. Not very good for split side run, okay? So, again, as coaches, we're trying to call these fronts and mix it up with their personnel and all those things. But, again, it's still our base over front, but just little adjustments up front. We don't get into playing an under front very often. This is our base. This is what we do. And we got a 4-eye and a 1. Still got our 5 and a 9. Linebackers and secondary, same adjustments to all those base formations that we talked about already. We have what we call our jam front, okay? Jam front is our call side end adjustment, as you see in red here. He's head up on the tight end, okay? He's a C-gap player, playing from a head up position. He's jamming a tight end, knows he's got C-gap responsibility. Still have our 3, still have our 1, still have our 5 technique. If I wanted to, I'd call over G jam. Over G jam would give us a G here and a jam there. So we can have any of these fronts work together, okay? So our jam front is for our defensive end, our call side end to be head up in what we call a 6 technique. Again, our last adjustment is our boundary end. We call it a cage technique. Don't run a ton of it. Matter of fact, I think we only ran it 1 snap last year. It was a pass, okay? But they line up head up on the offense tackle in what we call 4 technique. He, again, is B-gap responsible. Again, everybody else has the same exact responsibilities. 9 technique, 3 technique, 1 technique, and so forth. So, again, cage, G, I, jam are ways of moving those guys to different alignments on the pre-snap. We also have, and we're not going to talk about it today, ways of moving those guys to those gaps that they're going to be responsible for in those fronts. But we can move every one of those guys up front with just certain words to get them to be moving, because we do have speed on the field and we do like to move those guys. Okay, we're going to get to some videotape now.